The call from the stars. The signal came without warning, bleeding through every communication channel on Earth simultaneously. It spoke in all languages, translating itself perfectly into each tongue it touched. A message of pure desperation. Please help us. They are coming. We cannot stop them. Please help. For 3 days, the signal repeated, originating from a star system 47 light-years away. Earth's governments, usually fractured by politics and old grudges, found themselves united by this unexpected cosmic cry for help. In the high-security chamber beneath Geneva, the United Earth Defense Council convened an emergency session. The room buzzed with tension as military leaders, scientists, and government officials debated the signal's authenticity. It has to be a trap, General Zhao insisted, her weathered face set in grim lines. No alien civilization should know Earth languages this precisely. Dr. Samir Kapoor, lead xenolinguist at the Interstellar Communications Division, shook his head. The signal contains embedded universal translation matrices. It's designed to be understood by any species capable of receiving it. This is a genuine distress call. Admiral Helena Wallace, the highest-ranking officer in Earth's Space Force, studied the holographic projection of the signal's origin. Trap or not, humanity has waited centuries for first contact. We can't ignore this. President Rodriguez nodded slowly. Then we respond. But we send our best. Who's commanding the Nemesis? Captain Maya Chen, Admiral Wallace replied. Youngest captain in the fleet, but the best tactical mind I've ever seen. The UES Nemesis hung in Earth orbit, its sleek black hull absorbing starlight rather than reflecting it. Unlike the exploration vessels that preceded it, Nemesis was built for war, humanity's most advanced battleship, equipped with experimental weapons developed during centuries of internal conflict. Captain Maya Chen stood on the bridge, watching Earth spin below. At 34, she'd earned her command through a combination of brilliance and the kind of adaptability that only someone who grew up in the treacherous colony of Mars could develop. The ship's AI alerted her to an incoming priority transmission. Admiral Wallace's face appeared on the main screen. Captain Chen, the Nemesis has new orders. You're making first contact. Chen's dark eyes widened slightly, the only indication of her surprise. First contact, Admiral. We're a warship, not a diplomatic vessel. The aliens are calling for help, Captain. Help against something that's killing them. If we're walking into danger, I want our best ship out there. 12 hours later, the Nemesis prepared to deploy. Captain Chen addressed her crew of 300 from the bridge. This mission will change human history forever, she said, her voice carrying through the ship's communication system. We don't know what we'll find, but we know someone needs help. Earth has decided to answer. The Nemesis will engage its experimental fold drive in 30 minutes. Make your final preparations. Lieutenant Commander Jackson, Chen's tactical officer, approached after the announcement. Captain, I've run simulations based on the signal data. Whatever these aliens are running from, it's big. Planet killer big. Chen nodded. Then let's hope we're enough. The Nemesis vanished from Earth orbit in a flash of blinding light as its fold drive compressed space-time around the ship. For the crew, the journey took 3 subjective days. For the universe outside, nearly 2 weeks passed. When they emerged, a massive ring-shaped space station loomed before them, orbiting a blue-green world. The station's architecture was unlike anything humans had created. Flowing lines and crystalline structures that seemed to blend technology with art. We're being hailed, reported Communications Officer Rodriguez. The main screen flickered to life, showing a slender being with iridescent skin that shifted through rainbow hues. 4 arms moved in graceful patterns, and large, faceted eyes widened visibly at the sight of the humans. You actually came, the alien said, its voice flowing through the same translation matrix that had decoded their distress call. We did not expect a response from your kind. I'm Captain Maya Chen of the Earth vessel Nemesis, Chen replied, keeping her tone neutral. We received your distress call. The alien's skin pulsed with bands of blue light. I am Ambassador Talon of the Luminary Council. We sent our call to all corners of the galaxy, but never imagined. The alien paused, seeming to gather courage. Never imagined that Deathworlders would answer. Deathworlders? Chen asked, exchanging glances with her officers. Your planet is classified as a death world in our records, Talon explained. Too dangerous to approach. Your gravity, atmosphere, pathogens, predators, and especially your species' aggression levels. They are all lethal by our standards. Chen's expression remained carefully neutral. Then why ask for our help, Ambassador? Talon's 4 hands clasped together in what seemed like a gesture of prayer. Because what comes for us is worse than anything, even you. The docking bay of the Luminary Station was enormous, designed to accommodate ships from hundreds of different worlds. The Nemesis looked jarringly out of place among the sleek, colorful vessels. Dark, angular, and bristling with weapon systems. Captain Chen led a small team onto the station. Ambassador Talon waited with a group of aliens, each stranger than the last. Some floated in the air, others stood on multiple limbs, and one appeared to be composed of living crystal. Welcome to Harmony Station, Talon said, keeping a noticeable distance from the humans. Please forgive our caution. Your biology is concerning to us. Chen nodded. We understand. We come in peace and to offer help. The crystalline being stepped forward, light dancing through its transparent body. I am Elder Vox of the Council. Your ship, it is a weapon? It's a battleship, Chen answered honestly, built for defense and combat. A wave of whispers passed through the alien delegation. One small creature with multiple eyes seemed to faint, falling into the arms of its companions. Your entire vessel is designed for war. Talon's voice trembled. We had heard rumors that Deathworlders built such things, but to see it. You asked for help against something that's killing your people, Chen said evenly. What did you expect? Perhaps scientists, diplomats. Elder Vox's crystalline form pulsed with light. Not warriors. Chen looked around the beautiful station. Everything was designed for comfort and beauty. No defenses, no weapons. These were people who had never known war as humans understood it. Take us to your command center, Chen said. Show us what we're up against. The central chamber of Harmony Station contained a 3-dimensional map of the galaxy. Hundreds of green dots represented luminary worlds. A growing black mass was consuming one edge of their territory. We call them the Devourers, Talon explained. They emerged from the void between galaxies 6 cycles ago. They are not intelligent as we understand it. They simply consume. Chen studied the map. How fast do they move? They have devoured 23 worlds, Elder Vox answered. Billions dead. They leave nothing behind. And your defenses? Asked Lieutenant Commander Jackson. The aliens exchanged uncomfortable looks. We have deterrent technology, Talon said carefully, designed to discourage aggressive species. Nothing meant for war. Chen's expression hardened. Show me footage of these Devourers. The holographic display changed to show a planet surrounded by what looked like a living shadow. Billions of shapeless entities, each constantly shifting form, covered the world's surface. Plants, animals, even buildings dissolved under their touch. The Devourers consume all matter and convert it to more of themselves, Talon explained. Our technology barely slows them down. The humans watched in silence. Finally, Chen turned to the aliens. We'll help you, but you need to understand something about humans. We come from a world where everything tries to kill us. The weather, the animals, even microscopic things you can't see. We survived by fighting. It's what we know. Talon's 4 arms moved in a complex gesture. What are you saying, Captain? I'm saying our methods might shock you. We won't just try to stop these Devourers. We'll destroy them. Several aliens backed away. One made a sound like wind through hollow reeds. "You speak of extermination?" Elder Vox asked, light pulsing rapidly through its crystal form. "I speak of survival," Chen answered. "Yours and ours. Because if these devourers keep growing, eventually they'll find Earth too." The council representatives huddled together, speaking in voices too low for the translation matrix to catch. Finally, Talon approached Chen again. "We have no choice but to accept your offer, Captain. But please understand, violence is foreign to our nature. What you consider normal may be difficult for us to witness." Chen nodded. "I'll need all the data you have on the devourers. Biology, behavior patterns, weaknesses, everything. And then I need to contact Earth. We're going to need more ships." As the humans left to return to their vessel, Elder Vox turned to Talon. "Have we made a terrible mistake? These creatures seem as dangerous as the devourers themselves." Talon watched the humans depart, their heavy steps echoing down the corridor. "Perhaps, but the devourers give us no choice. We must hope that these Deathworlders can save us, and that they will leave when their task is done." Monsters against monsters. 5 weeks after Captain Chen's initial report, the human reinforcement fleet arrived. 7 battleships and 3 specialized research vessels, each crewed by Earth's finest scientists and soldiers. The Luminary Council observed their arrival with a mixture of hope and dread. "So many weapons," Talon whispered as the human fleet took formation around Harmony Station. "They bring enough firepower to destroy entire star systems." "Yet they may not be enough," Elder Vox replied, crystal body dimmed with worry. "The devourers have changed course. They move directly toward the Elysia system now." "Elysia?" Talon's skin paled to bone white. "That's 11 billion souls." In the command center aboard the UES Thermopylae, the flagship of the human fleet, Admiral Helena Wallace met with Captain Chen and the other ship captains. Dr. Elisa Novak, Earth's leading xenobiologist, presented her findings. "The devourers are unlike anything we've encountered," Dr. Novak explained, manipulating the holographic display to show cellular structures. "They're not truly alive by our definition. They exist in a quantum state between matter and energy, which is why the luminary weapons are ineffective." "But you found a weakness?" Admiral Wallace asked. Dr. Novak nodded, her eyes bright with the thrill of discovery. "Everything has a weakness. The devourers operate through a quantum entanglement network, a hive mind. But their rapid growth has a cost. They're unstable, vulnerable to specific energy frequencies." Captain Chen studied the data. "We can exploit this. I've designed a quantum resonance weapon," Dr. Novak confirmed. "It should disrupt their entanglement, causing a cascading failure throughout the connected mass." Admiral Wallace turned to the tactical display showing the Elysia system. "We don't have time to evacuate the 11 billion people. The devourers will arrive in 3 days. We make our stand there." When Ambassador Talon learned of the human plan, he insisted on joining Captain Chen aboard the Nemesis. "Our people must witness this," he explained, "must understand what it means to fight." The human fleet arrived at Elysia a day ahead of the devourers. The system was beautiful, 3 habitable planets orbiting a golden sun, each world covered in sprawling crystal cities and verdant wilderness. The luminary inhabitants had begun a frantic evacuation, but most remained uncomprehending of the danger approaching. "They don't understand war," Talon said softly, watching the evacuation ships crawl from the planets. "We have known peace for 50,000 years." Chen looked at the alien ambassador. "Peace is worth fighting for." The early warning systems detected the devourers' arrival, a darkness spreading across the stars, blotting out the light as they approached. The human fleet moved into formation, weapon systems coming online. "All ships, this is Admiral Wallace. Deploy quantum resonance platforms as planned. Defensive perimeter around Elysia Prime. Hundreds of small satellites launched from the human vessels, forming a web around the system's most populated world. Dr. Novak monitored the quantum readings from her laboratory aboard the Thermopylae. "They're coming," she reported. "Quantum disruption field at 70% charge." The darkness appeared at the system's edge, a writhing mass larger than any natural phenomenon. As it approached, individual devourers became visible, amorphous shapes constantly shifting, some as small as a human hand, others larger than mountains. "God help us," breathed Lieutenant Commander Jackson. Ambassador Talon's skin had gone completely colorless. "There are more than when they took Valorous Prime." They'd grown. "All ships, weapons free," ordered Admiral Wallace. "Engage on approach." The human fleet opened fire. Energy weapons tore through the leading edge of the devourer mass. Nuclear-tipped missiles detonated in blinding flashes. For a moment, it seemed to work. The darkness receded, holes appearing in the consuming tide. Then the devourers adapted. The holes closed. The tide surged forward. "They're learning," Dr. Novak reported, voice tight with tension, "adjusting their quantum signature to resist our weapons." The first devourers reached the quantum resonance satellites. Instead of destroying them, they began to absorb them, incorporating the technology into their mass. "They're assimilating our tech," Chen realized with horror. "Shut down the satellites." Too late. The quantum field destabilized as the devourers absorbed and repurposed the human technology. The tide accelerated toward Elysia Prime. "All ships, fall back to secondary positions," ordered Admiral Wallace. "We need a new strategy." Captain Chen studied the tactical display, mind racing. The devourers were adapting to everything the humans threw at them. They learned. They evolved. "Just like humans," she whispered, a realization dawning. "Admiral, I know why they call us Deathworlders." "Now's not the time for philosophy, Captain," Wallace replied. "No, listen. We evolved on a death world. We adapt. We survive impossible conditions. That's what these things do too. They're an evolutionary mirror of us, not in biology, but in strategy." Dr. Novak's eyes widened. "She's right. They're following our playbook, adapting to threats, turning strengths against enemies." "So how do we beat them?" Wallace demanded. "We stop acting like Deathworlders," Chen said, "and start using what humanity really excels at, creativity." Within minutes, Chen had outlined a radical new plan. Instead of attacking the devourers directly, the human fleet would create a gravity lens, using their ship's full drives in concert to manipulate space-time itself. "It's insane," Admiral Wallace said, but her eyes showed grudging admiration. "It might also work." The human fleet rearranged into a new formation, a perfect circle with the Nemesis at its center. Each ship engaged its full drive at a precisely calculated partial capacity. "What are you doing?" Talon asked, watching the maneuver with confusion. "Something the devourers can't adapt to," Chen replied. "Because it's not a weapon. It's math." The space-time distortion grew between the ships, a shimmering lens of warped reality. The devourers, sensing the disturbance, moved toward it, drawn by the exotic energy. "They're taking the bait," Dr. Novak reported, quantum signature becoming unstable as they approached the gravity lens. Captain Chen watched the tactical display. "All ships, prepare for full fold on my mark." The devourers converged on the lens, their mass crowding into the distorted space. "Now," Chen ordered. Every ship engaged its full drive simultaneously at full power. The gravity lens collapsed, but instead of disappearing, it inverted, creating a singularity that lasted only a fraction of a second. But a fraction was enough. The concentrated mass of devourers, drawn to the center of the formation, was caught in the event horizon. As the singularity winked out of existence, it took the devourers with it, sending them elsewhere in space-time. When the blinding light faded, the darkness was gone. The human ships drifted in formation, power systems drained by the massive energy expenditure. "Did we destroy them?" Admiral Wallace asked. "No," Chen replied. "We relocated them to the space between galaxies, Empty void where they can expand forever without finding another world to consume. Ambassador Talon stared at the now empty space where the devourers had been. You didn't kill them. You found another way. Killing is easy, Chen said. Finding alternatives is the real challenge. That's something else humans learn on a death world. In the aftermath, the Luminary Council formally invited humanity to join their galactic community, but the invitation came with a new understanding. These Deathworlders were different than the monsters they had feared. We called you because we needed warriors, Elder Vox told Captain Chen during the ceremony aboard Harmony Station. We did not expect to find philosophers who could think beyond destruction. Chen smiled. On Earth, we have an old saying, when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Humans have many tools at our disposal, not just weapons. As the Nemesis prepared to return to Earth with news of humanity's new place in the galaxy, Ambassador Talon asked the question that had been troubling the Council. Will more humans come now? Will your Deathworld ways spread among us? Definitely, Chen replied honestly, but not in the way you fear. Humans don't just bring their weapons. We bring our art, our music, our endless curiosity. We survived a death world not just by fighting, but by creating, by connecting, by imagining better futures. Talon's skin rippled with thoughtful colors. Perhaps that is why the universe created Deathworlders after all, not as monsters, but as protectors. Chen looked out at the stars, thinking of Earth. Beautiful, dangerous Earth, where humanity had learned its harshest and most valuable lessons. Maybe we needed to be forged in fire, she said quietly, to appreciate the value of peace.